back to my channel. It is Christian here, and you're tuning in for more of my 2 cents. Okay, so if you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so glad you all are here. If this is your first video or your 110th video, child, because the list is going up, all right? Thank you so much for watching. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting to do what I'm doing and expressing myself. And as new topics and ideas come, I can't wait to share them with you guys. I do have some emails that I got to read and do some reactions to. You guys are sending your stories in, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. If you would love to share your deconstruction story or any church horror story, send it to me at my2centmatters@gmail.com, and I will get to that and I will make a video for you. So thank you guys so much for joining in. Let's go over our 3 points that matter most before we get started. Number 1, you're not alone. Number 2, you're not crazy. Number 3, God, your creator still loves you, and I do too. And if you're returning, y'all know the 2 centers, the A1ers from day oneers, okay? I love y'all, and I appreciate you so much. We're growing somewhere, and I'm excited. Don't forget the 1K giveaway once we hit it, all right? Definitely gonna go live. Definitely gonna blow it up. The goal is to reach 1K by my birthday, which is March 6th. I'm a Pisces. So I definitely believe that we'll hit the 1,000 by my birthday, but I'm so hopeful and I'm so excited because I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be because of y'all, and that's a good thing. So subscribe to the channel because your goal is out here just trying to do a little bit of something to help free other people along the way, okay? So, like, this is the journey, but freedom is the destination, okay? So let's do this together. Today, I am going to be asking the question or answering the question with some points of why does God need us to worship it or him? I'm going to say him because I want to be respectful of those who may be confused during the dialogue. But let me just give this disclaimer, which I do not ever give disclaimers. I do not believe that God has a gender. God is not a he or a she. God is a spirit and a being, a spirit form. I'll say that is a spirit form, but not a person. No, there's no genitalia attached. There are no features attached to God. God just is it, being, okay? Not a person. So do with that what you want. So in this video, I want to cover this question because I've always thought about this. Well, not always, but I have thought about this recently since my deconstruction journey of why does God need us to worship him? Like, knowing what the definition of a God is, which I'm going to read it, okay? I'm going to read the definition of God because I know some people are probably like, girl, why are you reading the definition of what God is? Because we just need context. God. In Christianity and other non-monastic religions, the creator. God is the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. I'm going to read that again. God, the creator and the ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. All right? God in certain religions is a superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature or human fortunes, a deity. Okay, so pretty much God is source, God is our creator, God is the moral authority over the earth, okay, over our existence, a supreme being. Like I said, it's not a person, place, or thing. It's all of it, okay? It, being, it, life form through me, okay? I am God. All right. So, and you are too. And if that bothers you, take that up with God, because I'm out here giving you honor. I'm out here saying, hey, I see you. You killing it, right? You out here creating every day. Every day you get up, go to work, or you have a family, or you're pursuing a career, or you're just breathing and you're creating new streams of income or new avenues to encourage others or support others or be a community activist or just be a good parent or be a good person, be a good spouse, be a good lover, be a good daughter, be a good mother, be a good teacher, be a good lawyer, be a good doctor, be a good whatever you are, you're a creator. And that's powerful, okay? God shit. Remember that. Okay, so my question is, why does God need us to worship him? If God is powerful all by itself, why does it need to be affirmed or lifted up by us? This is a real question. A supreme being that knows all, that sees all, that created all, why does that kind of entity what is it? Oh, my buddy tutters. I'll be out in a minute, okay? Oh, she wants the phone. She has a game on this phone where she builds little houses, and she want me to wrap it up so she can get the phone back. But that ain't happening because sis ain't getting no more screen time today. Ow. That's the gag. She don't know that. So, okay. So where was I? See, this is motherhood. I'm out here creating good little humans for the future. Okay. Yes, I was saying, why does God need us to worship it and lift it up if it's the creator of all things? Like, what does our praise and our glory given to God do for it? What does that do for the creator of everything? Like, I don't need you. Like, I know that it may sound crazy, but it's like why would a God need non-God's approval or affirmation or praise or like love and honor and affection in order to exist or in order to feel good about all that is done? I'm looking at you. I created you. If you want to say thank you to me, great. But if you don't, it don't matter, because my flex is the fact that you are even here. And I can wrap that up when I want to, but I don't. I don't think people sit with that enough. Like when you're in church and you're being pumped and you're being primed and you're being told to worship God and praise God, lift your hands, raise your voice, tell him you love him, let him know that if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be here, or thank him for letting you wake up this morning, right? Thank him for making death behave and not waking up in a grave. Like, you can't wake up in a grave unless you owe some people money named Tony, right? That like to make meatballs. But not my business. I'm sorry. That was kind of stereotypical. But anyway, I mean, I grew up watching mob movies, and so that's just something that anyway, let's move on. But yes, it's like, does God really need us? Or do we just feel like, and by we, I mean what we've been taught in people in church, do we just feel like we have to do it in order to not seem ungrateful? But it's not necessary. Like, God doesn't need it to exist. God just is. Your creator just is. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you try to repay, you can't, because nothing you have is good enough. Just be. The best thing you can do is just be. It's just to enjoy and respect and honor what has been given to you. But you don't have to try to prove anything. You don't have to try to praise anyone, because I'm good with the fact that you exist because I created you. Thank you. Right? Next point. Why can't choosing God and acknowledging God as our creator or source be good enough? Why not? Like, thank you, God, for taking care of me. Right? Like, or if it's thank you, God, for today. Thank you for letting the sun shine. Thank you for letting the moon shine. Thank you. Right? Like, why can't gratitude just be enough? Like, just throughout the day, whatever you want to share, whatever you want to, extend, however you want to expound upon things, why can't just those simple things be enough? Why can't just the simple acknowledgement of your creator be enough? My whole life, I thought that I needed to prove my love and my appreciation for all that God had done. And sometimes I still struggle with that. Not that I feel like I'm missing the mark at all, but it's just like, is God not happy with something? Am I doing enough? Could I put a little bit more on that? But that usually comes when I feel detached from the source within, if that makes sense. Like when I start doubting myself, I start feeling like, oh, I'm not being grateful enough for what already is working, or what I already have, or what has already happened. Kind of like never being satisfied with what is working or what has been accomplished, and always seeking for what's next and more, and what can be changed and what can be better or different. It's like, wait. Do you see what you've done? Do you see what you've created? Do you see what you believed in enough to see manifested on the outside for others to realize? That is acknowledging just how good God is without screaming or shouting or even raising your hands. Just sometimes thinking about, just thinking about some things, like where you are, where you've come from, what more you have to look forward to, what all is happening for others around you. It's enough. It's enough. And it's one of those things, it's like, dang, God doesn't need us to worship it. Not the God that I grew up being taught about. The God that I grew up being taught about needs it. But my God doesn't need it. No. I just need to honor the fact that all of this was created for me by God. Because God wanted to create it. But God doesn't need us to say or do anything to remind it of what it has done. It just is. So the torment and the pain and the pressure and the stress and the fear and the constant feeling of missing the mark and not being enough and not doing enough and not having enough, that will always leave a void because you believe that where you are or what you have can be taken from you because you're not giving enough adoration for it. And that's not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works. Oh, I hit my point. Why isn't the testimony and happiness of God's believers enough to satisfy God's need for admiration? Why can't the testimonies or the joy or just the good news of just existing be enough for God to feel like they see it, right? And I'm asking this question from the perspective of how I was taught, the God I was taught, not the God I believe in now. But back then, when I believed, it was like God never was satisfied with what we were giving. And it was a song, what if God is unhappy with the way we live? What if he is not pleased with the way we give? What if he takes away his love and his spirit from above? What if God is unhappy with our praise? Do y'all remember that song? Do y'all remember that song? That was literally a song that we sang in choir, in our choir at church, about God being unhappy with the way we live, with the way we give, with the words we say, with the way we pray. What if God is unhappy with our praise? Do you understand how narcissistic that the church, that religions have made our Creator? People in church actually make God seem weak. And I've said this before and I'm saying it again. I don't think people realize that a supernatural being that you say created all of this and has the power to shift and change and create everything else needs you to worship it? I think we have that backwards. I think it makes God happy when we praise ourselves because we're made in the image and likeness of God. I think it makes God happy when we flourish and when we thrive and when we crack the code of what it truly is to be happy and to enjoy what's here and to create more. Because every day humans are creating more. The Bible said, right, that on the seventh day, God rested. Like he saw that all that he created was good and he was done. Do you understand that you are now creating everything else that exists in this world? God is not creating anything new. You are. I am. The people that we are watching on TV, that we are seeing create solar panels or going into outer space, Elon Musk with cars that were being plugged in instead of using gas. Creative power and energy is all around us. You're a creator. You're sitting in the place of God, the very God that we're being taught that we have to bow down and worship and praise and cry out to and give tithes and offering to and dedicate and commit our lives and choose salvation over sin. You're that being right now. There's nothing that you're praying for that God has not already done, provided, and just sit back and chilling. It's a spirit anyway. So that spirit is indwelling. It's not a person that's in heaven or anywhere watching you. That spirit is in you. It's in me. It's in the children that we see. It's in the birds and the bees. Even the birds and the bees out here creating. Even the birds and the bees are out here creating. Even the fish in the sea are creating. Jesus. Child, if I had a cash app, I would require y'all to send an offering. Because this is a word. God does not need you to worship it. God just needs you to honor yourself. God just needs you to see who you are. God just needs you to remember who you are. Knowing that God is not a person and is a spirit. In everything, is everywhere. There are no restrictions. There's no bondage. There are no boundaries. There's no limitations. That's why I believe and I know that God exists outside of church. And when people say the spirit, the presence of the Lord is here, okay, if you believe that, great. Because the spirit can be anywhere, right? In anyone. A message can come forth and go forth from anyone. It doesn't just have to go forth from your pastor. Doesn't. I know that there's been several powerful things that I've said, several powerful revelations that I've had in conversations with people, even on some of these videos that I know have the power and the ability to shift and change the way people feel, think, live, see, and experience life. We all have those moments where we have knowledge that is just so powerful and insightful, wisdom that flows. And it's not just about having a calling on your life and being ordained as a minister or an evangelist or a prophet or any of that. It's about what you operate in, remembering who you are. You are no less than the next person next to you. You just haven't tapped into it. But let me say my points. Okay, so I got a cell phone example. iPhones versus Androids. If iPhone knows it's superior, why would it need to convince us? Isn't its existence in cutting-edge technology and constant advancements enough to show its superiority to the competition? Yes. Yes. And I ain't trying to throw no shade at Androids versus iPhones. I'm not in that committee, okay? I just know that my Macs, my Apples, okay? I'm not going back to nothing else but that. But the benefits, when something or someone is superior or is top of the line, top level, you're not going to find them explaining or trying to convince anyone of who or what it is or what they do that's better than anyone else. Just not going to do it. Now, who does compare, contrast, argue, and go back and forth about it? Consumers. me speaking to Harafe. God does not argue with you or me about what God is or what God can do. We be arguing about what God is and what God can do. We be debating about what God is and what God can do. God is not arguing about what God is or what God can do. Think about it. When was the last time anyone audibly took on the voice or the sound of the Lord to defend itself? Never. 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 This is a charge that people of different religions have taken on for themselves to be representatives for an all-powerful supreme being that does not need you. I don't need you because I created you. So that means I wanted you to be here. I didn't need you to exist. So if it's a superior anything, phone, car, building, whatever, when you know who you are and you know what you do and what you offer, there is no need to defend it because it will always speak for itself. And you'll notice that the people who truly know who they are, know what they do, know what they offer, and know their value, they do not argue with people who don't know their own. I am not arguing with people who do not believe like me or understand what I understand. I am going to continue to live freely and share with those who are willing to listen, have it revealed to them, and apply this knowledge, truth, and understanding on whatever level they can. Because it took me a long time to get to this point, and I'm not even involved fully on all things. But this which I have been able to unlock and understand has changed my life. I have experienced some things years ahead of what I should have by the standard of others and what other people have experienced. Because I grasped and I understood sooner than most ever do. It usually takes a lot of falls. It usually takes a lot of struggling. Some people die and never get it. I try to share certain things with certain people all the time, y'all. When I'm talking to certain friends and family, I try to break it down. I don't be wanting to. It's like I be fighting not to explain stuff, but I be wanting them to get it. And I don't go hard. I just be like, it just boggles my mind why you're not seeing it like this. Like, it just blows my mind how you're in church, you're in these environments, and you all are behaving like this. You all aren't even exemplifying what you say you believe. Like, that's how I be talking to them. That's like literally how I be talking. I be talking in it's like a sad, hopeless tone. Like, why aren't you getting it? What is your problem? like, what is wrong with you? I don't even go to church and I get it. I get that what you're explaining to me is asinine. Definition of asinine. I'm finna start giving y'all definitions every week. Y'all finna get a new word. Asinine, extremely stupid or foolish. I say this to people on the phone at least 5 times a week concerning things that they're dealing with in life and in church. This is asinine. What you're explaining to me is asinine. The behavior you're telling me has been exemplified is asinine. The fact that you stood by and said nothing is asinine. Along with another favorite quote of mine, while I talk to certain people, the only way that evil exists is for good people to stand by and do nothing. That's the only way that evil prevails. It's for good people to stand by and do nothing. And I hear so many examples of it time and time again from people who go to church. They watch people getting treated bad. They actually encounter being treated bad themselves, and they do nothing. But they'll talk about it with other people all day long. Asinine. Stupid or foolish behavior. Next up, and my last point of why God does not need us to worship it. A flawed God is inferior to others, while a powerful God just is. A flawed God, a God with flaws. Because see, the perfect God that I was allegedly taught about as a kid seems to have a lot of flaws, right? Like, didn't create perfect people, need us to worship it in order for it to feel powerful and mighty, can't keep Satan off of the people that's chosen salvation, gave his only begotten son only for the creations that this son died for, to turn around and sin against it again and have to wipe out the world. A flawed God is inferior and needs you to fear it. But a powerful God just is. Doesn't need any of it. Everything that it has created is acceptable and good. A powerful God just is. And an inferior, but a flawed God is inferior. A flawed God is out here trying to fight and argue with Satan for its children. Those are my souls. You can't have them. I'll take you out for it. Why is God sending Satan at this point? Allegedly, Satan is in hell dying 1 million deaths every day. But Satan still finds time to, while be dying and burning eternally, to come up here and hunt all of y'all and mess with y'all. And y'all finances, y'all lives, y'all marriages, y'all bodies, y'all health, y'all jobs. Satan is very busy being tormented and tormenting others. It's just... But watch the video on God being weaker than Satan. That's insightful. There's no need to be worshipped, fought for, defended, or praised. Because God just is. You don't have to defend God. You don't have to fight for God. You don't have to worship God. You don't have to praise God. You just have to enjoy who God is to you, for you, and in you. That's it. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. I tried to talk calm, remain calm, be direct, and be respectful. Because I want this message to be conveyed in love. Like, I don't want it to be lost in the sauce of me trying to be rude or blaspheme or clickbaitish or anything like that. I want to present very real, logical points that open your eyes to say, dang, that makes sense. Like, dang, I don't have to fight for this stuff. I don't have to make myself small. I don't have to shrink in order for God to be magnified, right? I don't have to lower myself to elevate who God is. God just is. God just is. And I am. God just is, and I am. God is who God gonna be, and I am who I am. So it's not about me going back and forth and trying to defend or prove or validate anything. I am, because God is. Okay, I'm gonna send y'all off with this so we don't go into a whole nother video. I've enjoyed this. If you guys have as well, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I would love to add you to my 2 cents crew. Hopefully this topic has sparked some real thought-provoking dialogues in your mind, right? Like, you probably just all over the place. I really hope that that's the emotion that it evokes, and that it sparks something that you've either already thought or felt or questioned. And even if you didn't, now you do, because this is what matters when you have people that don't all think the same thing, but they understand the nuanced value of having contrast thoughts and conversations that bring more to the table. I don't want to be surface. I ain't surface. That don't work for me. I'm deep. Okay, honey? It's giving very much 8-foot pool over here. Okay, step in, you're gonna drown. So I'm not in the kiddie pool. Okay, you're not just gonna stand up in this. You're going to have to deep dive and actually get into it. And that's what I like about these conversations. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop down in the comment section below, and let's continue the conversation. Do you feel that God needs us to worship it in order for it to be magnified, glorified, and lifted up? Or are we not needed because God just is enough? All right? Okay. See y'all guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.